Oh, the train's canceled? Oh, screw them.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's snowing out. Oh, I just get to stay home. I don't have to go into work today. Work from home.
What's your beef with SEPTA?
Oh, they suck. The delays I would incur were like ridiculous. I mean, oh, we hit somebody. Now we gotta wait here for another train to come so we can get on another train. Or forget it.
Well,
We're not.
number
We're
one is
stopping here.
we speed the train down the track and then it just goes off the rails. You know,
Yeah,
on
no,
like
never. Luckily, never had that.
a sharp curve. You know, it's like whoopsie.
I was on it though one time when we hit somebody, so that sucked. I felt bad for the person, but I was on the train like 2.5 hours that night. That kind of sucked.
That was awful. I remember that story. The poor conductor had to be taken away. He was distraught.
Yeah,
What
yeah, it
was the
was
person
terrible.
doing on the tracks? What was
Could have been a suicide.
Honestly, they might have been killing themselves. Death by train. Dan deals with that more in the subway.
Yeah, people throw themselves onto the subway right when the train's coming all the time. I haven't taken the subway since last March.
Would you rather jump off a building or throw yourself onto the train tracks? If you, what are
Train
you
tracks
picking?
right faster.
I would depends on how high the building is. I'd probably have a heart attack before I hit the ground. So, that's a good question. I don't know.
That is a good question. You know,
Yeah, it's an excellent question. Now, if I didn't have a heart attack, that would probably hurt more.
one pick wonders, week wise, because we can't say the NFL words right. Are we week 18? Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah. No.
No, 19.
19.
19.
Even though we're officially sponsored by the NFL, they still won't allow us to say Super Bowl. I don't understand. I think we need like 25K to say Super Bowl. So
Yeah, so don't say it.
there goes Maggie's college fund.
Yeah. No, we'll take it out of Dan's money. He's the rich one.
Yeah.
No, we
How
can
much?
say it. We just cannot put it on our YouTube.
Right. When he sold the Picasso, we can take some of that money.
That's right.
Yeah. I didn't get any of that money.
The fake Picasso.
How much you looking for?
No, Dan's father or grandfather sold a Picasso painting, a real one.
Yeah. After my grandfather died, it wasn't worth very much.
Still, it was a real Picasso.
So what? It was only worth like $8,000 or something. It wasn't an expensive painting.
Hey, Scott, did Doug O'Hara, did he have a Picasso? Did good old Dougie, did our dad ever have a Picasso painting, Scott?
He used his slave labor from his kids to frame up some reprints and shit, but that was about it. Oh, kids, we're gonna have fun this weekend. Why don't you go frame up some pictures so I can hang them in the house? We're gonna go down to the frame shop and you're gonna frame up some pictures, you bitches. So this is the one pick wonder. We have your team on the left, myself and the office, your team on the right, the five head of knowledge and the sports betting guru. They are currently one game up on us, and we're looking to preempt them and bring it even prior to the championship games. Is that what you call it, the champion? This is the conference round right now.
Divisional. This is divisional.
So what's next week called? What do we call that?
Conference championship.
Championship?
Okay. So we pull even in the divisional, and then we have two more games to kick your asses.
That's right. We're doing it this week.
Yeah.
We're gonna tie them. We're tying them this week.
So these fucktards, as Ryan calls them, they always try to get the pick in before us, but we preempted them this week.
That's
So
right here
Ryan,
on Wednesday.
let's lead in with our pick for this week.
All right, so I'm gonna preface this because this pick actually pains me. So it just goes to show that I don't bet with my heart. I bet with my head. I hate the Green Bay Packers with every fabric of my being as a Bears fan. I don't really like Aaron Rodgers, even though he's a hell of a football player. But we are going with those cheesehead wearing assholes from Green Bay, the Packers, minus 6.5 against the Rams currently from LA, formerly from St. Louis, and prior to that from LA.
And
I
part
don't
of
know.
that, Cleveland.
Cleveland. So yeah, we're going with the Pack. I wouldn't call it a no-brainer pick. I mean, it's 6.5. You know, win by a touchdown and an extra point. And that's tough to do any time during the year. This is a matchup of a top 5 offense. Aaron Rodgers, I think, I don't know if he led the NFL in touchdown passes this year, but he had, I think, 48 as compared to what is it? Let me look at the stats here. 48 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions. The Rams, though, do have the #1 defense in the NFL.
Well, he's
giving
looking at Rodgers is looking at MVP, staring at.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It pains me to say it, but I think he is the MVP. You know, the Rams have the #1 defense. I did read Aaron Donald. I didn't realize it last week's games because I wasn't paying attention that much. Aaron Donald did leave the game early last week, but it looks like all indications are that he will probably play this week. And that's huge. The big question in it for the Packers, I forget what position the dude played, but Bakhtiari, the offensive lineman, tore something in his knee. I think leading into the last week of the regular season. So they got a replacement on the line for him. They did fine against the Bears, but it's the Bears. The Bears, they mailed it in. They shouldn't even have been in the playoffs. So it's just going to be a good matchup. The Packers defense isn't terrible either. They're a top 10 defense. You know, the Rams are are the 11th rated offense, but did Goff have a good game last week when he came in relief of Wolford after he came out? Yeah, but it's still, he had surgery 3 weeks ago on his thumb on his throwing hand. So one bad hit, I don't even know who the hell the backup would be if Wolford is he I don't know if he's fine or not. I haven't read anything on that. So
is Goff still out this week?
No, I think he's supposed to start. He's going to start.
Bortles is the backup.
Is Bortles back? Okay.
Bortles, as Brian calls him.
Bobby?
Yes.
Another little factoid, though, that you know, the weather, it's supposed to be snowing in about 35 degrees as a high tomorrow in Green Bay. So the Packers are used to that. The Rams probably not so much. So advantage to Green Bay. So I think they will cover 6.5. Looking at a 10-point game. That's where I'm going with.
Well, you have a dome team coming from the West Coast, right, to play at Lambeau, right?
Yeah.
You see that? I knew there was a dome.
Congratulations! Wow, you're getting better at this.
I love the Silver Dome. Silver Dome is awesome.
You could have bought it for $100,000, I think. Seriously, I think that's what they sold it for.
Yeah, something like that. Something really cheap. And then a snowstorm came through and destroyed it.
Oh, really? I don't know.
Yeah, the roof caved in and it had to demolish it.
Your dream has died. Your dream has died. So I'm looking at, I love Green Bay in this game. I took some notes earlier. Not only did the Packers have a week to prepare, hence the bye, but they're a much better team, okay? This will also be a cold weather game, as aforementioned. For a dome team coming from the West Coast, LA has a ton of injury issues coming into this contest, particularly with Donald, which, Ryan, you brought that up, right?
Yeah.
Their defense should be able to shut down LA, as a team is one-dimensional offensively right now. Rodgers will do enough to stretch the lead and allow his team to coast to the NFC Championship, baby. Go Pack. All right, who's taking y'all's pick? We've got the five-headed knowledge and the sports betting guru. Can you guess which is the five-headed knowledge and which one is the sports betting guru?
They both have 5 heads, so
I guess I'll go first because Dan's gone first like the last 5 weeks.
Okay, well, let's keep it going then. No, you go ahead.
All right, so
Well,
me
you
and Dan-
lost last week when Dan went first, right?
I what?
yeah, they lost.
You lost when Dan went first, so maybe this is
Yeah, so let's switch it up.
maybe that was a jinx.
Okay. So we're going with the Ravens. They're plus 2.5 at Buffalo. I heard they said it might snow. I guess Lamar Jackson made some comment he's never played in the snow before, so that could hurt our bet. But even if it snows,
No, he didn't say he's never played in the snow. He said when in college when they played at Louisville, they had a snowball fight. So he has thrown in the snow.
See, that's a true story. I read that too.
Yeah, it's a true story. They had a snowball fight in Louisville. So he's like, yeah, I've thrown it in the snow before.
You're a running team anyway.
but I still think that with the Ravens' run game, even if it snows, they'll be able to run the ball obviously in the snow with Lamar Jackson and Dobbins and Gus Edwards.
Oh, by the way, you guys are at 2.5 right now. It's not 2.
There.
It was plus 2.5.
All right,
Yeah.
2.5. All right.
Yeah, don't try to cheat us.
I don't
all
want
right?
any controversy over this.
Yeah, no controversy. All right, so I think even if it snows, I think the Ravens' offense will be good in the snow. They'll be able to run the ball. I was telling Dan last week, Buffalo didn't cover. We picked Buffalo last week, and they didn't cover because I don't think they have a good defense. It's average. If you look at the stats, Buffalo has an average defense. The Colts actually, they averaged last week, they averaged 5 yards a carry against the Bills' defense last week. Jonathan Taylor had a really good game. I think the Ravens are going to be able to run the ball on the Bills. Now, obviously, on the other side of the ball, the Bills are going to be able to score with Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. But the Ravens' defense, I think, is underrated. Everyone wants to talk about the Rams' defense, but I think the Baltimore has a top 10 defense, and they're getting a lot of their guys are healthy on defense. So I think that they're going to win. I think they'll, outright. I mean, it's only 2.5, so it's not a big thing to say outright. But I think the Ravens are going to win. I think they'll win by 3-4 points. I think it'll be like 24-21. But I just think for all those reasons, I think it's going to be the Ravens. And they've won 5 in a row or 6 in a row now, so they're hot. I just think they're playing good at the right time. And everyone always talks about it. You got to play good at the right time. So for all those reasons, I think the Ravens are going to win.
Okay. Well, piggyback off what Brian's saying. Buffalo's defense stinks. They have at least 2 linebackers who are awful, who can't do anything. They have a terrible pass rush. They're one of the worst pass rushing teams in the league. They can't sack anyone with just 4 guys rushing the passer. They get no pressure, whereas Baltimore excels at that, getting pressure on the quarterback, which is going to make a difference. Could cause Allen to make some mistakes. Whereas I don't think Buffalo can really pressure the Ravens very much. They just don't do a very good job. And they're going to have to blitz. It's going to open up stuff, leave gaps in the defense, which could help Baltimore. I don't know how much the factor the weather will really be. I think it might hurt Buffalo more if there is anything.
What's the weather? What's the predicted weather?
I mean, they're like the one thing shows that there might be snow, but I just looked it up, the hour by hour, 24 hours. It's going to be about 36 degrees at game time, which is about 24 hours from now. No precipitation as of right. It's cloudy, but no precipitation.
Okay. So
However, Buffalo cold is different than Baltimore cold. It's a different feeling. It's a wind, depending upon what the wind does. It could be a chill, but
yeah, it's the kicker if it's a close game. But I mean, the Buffalo defense is not impressive. I mean, they let Indianapolis back in that game last week, and they've been held up by their offense. Their offense has done such a good job of scoring a lot of points that the other team just gives up and becomes just throwing the whole time, and they're not going to win that way. But I think it's possible is because the Baltimore can hold down the Buffalo offense because they're good. They'll probably double team Diggs because he's their main target, and they can get pressure with 4 guys, whereas Buffalo can't do any of these things. They've got to play zone to try to contain Jackson, because that way, if you play man, guys are gonna have their backs turned, and Jackson can just run behind it, and they won't see what's going on. So it might might hold up in the middle of the field for guys like Andrews and Brown and those type of guys. So I believe Baltimore will win this game and disappoint the poor people of Buffalo there. And a sign that things are going haywire. In other news, Scott Coyle bought his first microwave.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he finally caved in and bought a microwave. He never owned a microwave. The man's 41 years old, never had a microwave.
God,
So,
I remember as a kid seeing somebody cook a hot dog in a microwave. I was amazed. Like
He
back in
actually
the
came into
early
the
80s.
office?
Huh?
He came into the office?
Yes, he did. And he actually came over to my side of the office. He's over on the other side in his own little bunker over there. And I forget what he was doing, but I happened to see him in the hallway, and he told me he bought a microwave.
So what about the
Jeez.
Bills Ravens battle of the kickers? Because I remember from last week the announcer saying that the stadium is kind of in defilade. It's down below ground, so
It
there's
is.
not a lot of wind issues there.
Yeah,
think-
when you drive,
So what about the
yeah,
battle of the kickers there?
it's pretty
Sometimes
noticeable.
people
It's
do-
pretty noticeable when you drive through Orchard Park and you see the stadium that it's down below. So it'll be fine. Justin Tucker is a fantastic kicker for the Ravens, and I forget the kid's name. Bass. I forget his first name. I want to say Kevin, but I think that was a
Oh,
baseball
isn't he
player.
the guy that just came out of college? And
I
became
can't
a
remember.
kicker?
I don't even know. I got to be honest. I don't know. the
Kevin
answer to
Bass
that.
was a black guy who played for the Astros back in the 80s.
Exactly. That's
No,
yeah.
the,
That's
the
what I was
Bills
thinking.
kicker, as of like 2 weeks ago, the Bills kicker hadn't even met everyone on the team yet.
That wouldn't shock me. Let me see. I'll tell you about him. He's looking Tyler
Yeah, he
Bass.
came out of college, and
Yeah.
like 2 weeks ago, he hadn't even met everybody on the team yet.
He's a rookie out of Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
He'll be 24 years old on Valentine's Day.
Wow.
No homo. No homo.
No,
No homo.
no. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
Well, it's
You ever see that
it's
special?
funny to me that you were so interested in the birthday,
No.
Valentine Day.
I just looked him up. That's all.
Does he get double gifts that day?
Probably.
It's like a kid being born on Christmas.
Oh, that's the
bastards.
worst.
The poor bastards.
Exactly.
So
I am going with the Bob method on that game, though. By the way, guys, not to be a downer, but I'm hitting the Bob on that. So I can't remember if I hit it, if I paid it yet, but I did. I got a boost on some parlays, and I picked the Bills on the money line.
So that leads us into a new segment. Wait a minute. That leads us into a new segment for the show, which is parlays. So we're gonna have this is an individual effort. So we're gonna have each person do their parlays
I like it. I like
the divisional round here. Let's have some parlays.
I did 2 parlays. I did one on the money line for the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Saints. And then I did another one
Asshole.
for the Rams, the Ravens, and Tampa. And that one was $5. That one hits $5. Would win $107.
So
All right.
I'm gonna try to run the board here. So I've got the Packers, the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Bucks. Go Bucks.
I
And
got
those are
you.
money line picks, by the way, fans. Okay. Tom Brady is in Tampa Bay. The Super Bowl's in Tampa Bay. Coincidence? I think not.
I got 3-team parlay. I got the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. I put $10. I will win $24 off of $10. I also have a couple prop bets. I have Aaron Rodgers throwing under 260, and I have Tom Brady throwing under 306.
All right. So I bet the money line and the the spread on the parlays. I did the same ones. I did the Packers, the Bills, the Bucks, and the Chiefs. I did them up for the, like I said, the spread and the money line. I
So we
also
only
got
differ that I took the Ravens on the same parlay.
yeah. So I did, then last week you saw I got a boost on the first touchdown score of a game. I ended up getting another one of those this week, and it actually happened to be in the Green Bay game, LA game, Devontae Adams. But obviously they weren't going to give me the boost that I got last week, where I won $42 on a $2 bet or $3 bet, whatever it was.
Whoa.
I picked Devontae Adams.
What if
I
that
put
was
$3 down.
$2,000 bet?
Yeah, no.
You'd be
I put
retiring right now.
Yeah, right. I put $3 down, and I could win $22.50 on that.
Yeah, DraftKings does a good job at those those boosts.
Yeah. Like I also did. I got some interesting picks too. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in your game, each to score 2 touchdowns. So I put a couple bucks down on that.
Is that running and passing?
It to score a touchdown, and it doesn't. It's probably. I'm not sure if it's right. They don't specify, but I'm not even worried about it. I think they'll both score 2 touchdowns with the way that the game's going to go. I mean, the nice thing about that site is that Bears game was a bad beat. If you didn't notice, last week was a bad beat. I actually got my money back refunded on that game because they didn't kick or go for the 2-point conversion at the end of that game when they scored. So that was actually pretty cool. The game, it was like $5, but still $5 I got back. To bet because they didn't go for that. So that's kind of a pretty cool thing.
So they could not have won the game, but then they just kicked the field goal. I mean,
if they would have kicked the field goal, they wouldn't have covered. But if they would have gone for the 2-point conversion, I think it would have been a push. I can't remember the final score. So the worst case scenario,
you're talking about the point after.
Yeah, they scored a garbage touchdown right at the Jimmy Graham caught the touchdown and ran in the tunnel and just kept going. That was pretty. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. It'd be cool if he retired that way. Be like, but no, they gave the money. It was a bad beat, so anybody who bet on that game got their money back. So,
what was the New Orleans Saints guy where they had to change the NFL once they either changed or they want to change the rule where he ran off the field with the football when it was like an extra, a field goal to win the game or something.
Oh, they got different balls. It's okay because they got different balls for kicking anyway.
I know, but what he did was he ran off the field with the ball, so they couldn't place the ball to bring in the kicking ball.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he just kept the ball and he sprinted off the sideline, so that bought more time because they couldn't place the ball. And now the NFL is trying to say you can't do that anymore. You can't just take the ball and run off the field.
Right.
But there was no official penalty. That was not against the rules to just grab the ball up and just run off the field, and then they had to stop the clock.
Yeah, they'll change
it. That.
Yeah, they'll change it. It's gamesmanship. I like gamesmanship, and it's smart. A smart team will pull stuff like that off. So. So it's not bad. Did anybody bet the college football championship or no?
Oh yeah, I emptied out my sports betting account on Alabama on the money line, unfortunately, but they did cover the spread. Yeah.
I lost $10. I bet the Buckeyes plus 8.5.
Really?
Yeah, $10.
Dumbass. I had like a $500 bet on Alabama on the money line. Literally, my account had like $1 left in it.
Well, according to Brian's rules, I was supposed to bet on Ohio State because my cousin went there, so I just stayed out of it altogether.
That's homerism. Right. That's called homerism.
I even bet the over. The over was 69. I bet the over. I bet Bama to start it at the start of the playoff, and I bet them to win it. And I bet the over on the game, which was 69 points. So I I doubled my money.
What was the over on the game? Did you cover that?
The 60. Oh yeah, I forget what the final score was, but it was 69 points.
78.
I don't even remember what the final. It was.
24
freaking-
was.
I mean, hell, Bama scored what, like 50 some odd points, didn't they?
It's 52
Yeah.
24.
I just remember falling asleep because I had the money line on Bama and I fell asleep and then I woke up and I saw 50 and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
go back to bed now. You're
exactly.
All I saw was like 50 something and I'm like, all right, you're good.
Yep, you're good, totally. Yeah, their defense is good enough to hold off.
So I ended up winning $123 and I think that was like a $500 and some dollar bet. I'm like, Bama is not going to beat Ohio State. This is not going to happen. I went all in on that game, and just like the week prior on the Bucks game, when I heard that Alex Smith was out, I'm like, I'm all in on that. Bucks money line, I'm all in. The backup quarterback for the Washington scrimmage squad is not going to beat the Bucks. I'm sorry, it's not
Right.
going to happen.
He played pretty good though. Not bad.
Yeah, he
Yes.
did. Tom Brady congratulated him after the game. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough situation to be in. I don't know. What did they see the kid from the AF or no? Am I wrong? That's the kid from LA's the AF kid, right?
He was a backup quarterback in the XFL
Okay,
prior to starting in a playoff game for the Washington football team.
that's amazing.
He's still better than Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to tell him you said that, and he's going to take away. He's going to take away your jersey, your Eagles jersey.
how was your trip to the airport with Jim Schwartz and Doug Peterson?
Oh yeah. I took a boat to the airport. They were okay. They got on their plane safely.
All right, good luck, fellas. We'll see you next
All right,
week.
Good luck. Good luck,
All right,
guys.
good luck.